There we go.
Oh, oh,
Using a virtual background tonight because I'm on my couch under the blankets, and that's where I care to be. So,
oh,
had
oh,
no desire to get out from under the blankets to go and sit at the table. So,
oh, okay. Did you stay home today?
yeah, I'm off until January 6th.
No.
Yep.
Good. Jai Guru anyway.
Yeah, yeah, checking.
Excuse me. I guess nothing lasts. I'm starting to deal with some major back pain again. It's going to be limiting my ability to do stuff. I was doing pretty good for a long time, then all kind of out of the blue. And that was a little interesting. I was getting a lot of pain the morning. It was yesterday morning before, and uh, it's sort of like I guess I did mantra a little, was doing mantra some, but uh, it was almost like I saw the possibility of, well, it's of something of a reality beyond the body or something, beyond the pain that, and it lessened the pain a little bit by seeing that there was some kind of reality beyond the body or something. Uh, I don't know if that putting putting it in words is hard, but I did see some relief possible because of awareness, like not giving so much attention maybe to
Yeah,
things.
that's probably it. You're not giving attention to the specific pains because you're amplifying that in mind. Remember the story, Nisargadatta Maharaj, he had a friend who, or not, Maurice Friedman, I think, had the friend who came and they were in India. And the one guy was like, oh, I had trouble sleeping. It was so noisy. There were dogs barking. There was this, there was that. And the other one was just sleeping very peacefully because the attention wasn't paid.
Uh,
So I think Sri Ramakant Maharaj talks about the dogs barking in your mind. Like,
yeah,
yes, the dogs are barking, but now you're irritated because the dogs are barking. Therefore, the dogs are now barking in your mind. So the
yeah,
same with pain or discomfort, or if you have to wait, anything that you pay attention to grows. That's why you say remain with your selfless self, the sense of presence, just I, because that too will appear like it's growing because your attention will be on that rather than all these other things. And that's when you're giving attention to that which deserves your attention.
yes. So I was wondering, oh, okay, it's sort of like the pain was still there, but it wasn't as intense or something. So I wonder if you can even give less attention and almost like make the pain go away totally. Would that be possible?
I
To
mean,
where you
again,
almost
these are body based things. So remember, too, Maharaj says, if you're in pain, go see a doctor. Doctor takes care of these things. It's a body based issue. You're separating the body based. I think, like Maharaj says, food body problems. You're separating food body problems from the reality. But yes, you're in pain. Like, I bought a pillow that has like this little V thing in it to support my neck and back and all that because I was waking up and my neck was in a lot of pain. And so I took action because
yeah,
you're holder of this body. If the body's in pain,
yeah.
it's not enjoyable. Regardless of whether you are a body or not a body, you're going to be saying, oh, this is not good. And it's going to affect because it's a food body problem. Just like the five elements, if there's a disturbance in the five elements, rain, snow, sleet, all these sort of things, but you're going to dress appropriately, you're going to go out appropriately, you're going to have an umbrella. When it rains, bring an umbrella. So it is important not to get so involved in the food body problems, but at the same time, you take your medicine, take care of yourself because the body is available.
Yeah, how does that relate to sometimes you say that uh, it doesn't matter what happens to the whole world could disappear and it wouldn't
Correct.
affect me. So,
Correct.
what part is there? Well, I wouldn't say a part. What it's the whole me that I don't know, hard to put in words. That's unaffected. The whole reality is unaffected by the parts somehow. Uh, what the,
Reality, it's formless. There's no form. So there can't be any. That's why I think in the Bhagavad Gita it says can't be burned, can't be cut, can't be separated because you're formless. So, and yet there's a form within the formlessness. And when you don't have to identify with the form within the formlessness to feel pain. For instance, you could say, oh, I got shot. There's no concept of I am dying, but certainly you're going to feel the bullet.
yeah, yeah. So it's not, yeah. If if I think I am being affected, then I'm thinking I am the body.
Oh, it
So
shouldn't, and even not getting held up in all those sort of things. Again, you're in pain, you take the medicine, you do the things prescribed by the doctor. You don't dwell on the pain. You don't sit there and focus in mind and just sit there and flow with all the thoughts of, oh, poor me, my back hurts so much, I'm not going to be able to do anything. My job is going to suffer. I'm not, I'm getting old, blah, 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 all the train of thought that can happen. And and yet you do take the medicine if you go to the doctor, or like I mentioned, the pillow, sleep in a different position, whatever, to have this temporary food body problem alleviated. I think somebody had asked Maharaj at one circle about meditating through the surgery and all this sort of thing. And okay, because he said, oh, I don't want to take anesthesia. And I wanted to meditate. And the first time I meditated through it, but now this time I think I'm just going to take anesthesia. And is there a difference? And again, Maharaj says, food body problem is different. Your body has nothing to do with your spirituality whatsoever. So do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities, take care of your body. This is not like a program of, oh, I'm Superman. Oh, I'm so spiritual that I can meditate through pain. Okay, this is nice, but again, this is a lot of egoistic spirituality. Practical spirituality is I'm in pain and I seek a solution to this pain, but I don't dwell on this pain so much.
even though you see you can see this sense of the body and mind world being illusory, uh, it still doesn't like totally make it disappear or something.
Well, as long as you're holding a food body, there's going to be disturbances of the five elements.
Mm.
Even if you're not identified with the food body, there's signals, so to speak, coming and saying, I'm in pain. Oh, this hurts. And again, the perfect example was if you get shot, you can know deep within your own self that I am not dying, but the pain will still be there.
Or is it illusory in the sense that it's passing, that it's not real? That's what makes it not real, is that it's passing, it's changing, and
Within the
it's a
bubble of
form, it's a
illusion,
form rather than formless.
within the bubble of illusion, you feel correct. You all of this again in a dream. Same thing in a dream. You could break your leg in a dream. Now, of course, when you wake up from the dream, your leg is not broken. So, of course, when you know yourself in a real sense, there is no my leg to have broken. Yet, there is pain. There's pain in the dream, and there's pain in the waking dream. It's not to dwell, not to think about, not to really concern. But again, you take care of yourself. You're in pain, go see a doctor. Doctor prescribes medicine, take your medicine as prescribed.
But the real me is not affected in a sense.
Of course, there is no real you. There is just
Well,
that you are. The
I mean,
reality is not affected.
you say you know yourself in a real sense. In that sense, you are unaffected.
You are completely and totally unaffected. The you that you are.
Mm.
Just like the dreamer, formlessly, a dream world appears and it's in a form-based existence, but that existence is not true. You know this when you wake up on the other side. Oh, I was dreaming. So it's exactly the same in this waking dream. It's absolutely not true. Everything that's occurring is within the bubble of illusion. There's no identity with the body form. I am not body. I was not body. I'm not going to remain the body. But there's a signal coming of pain. So I'm going to alleviate this pain. I'm going to go see a doctor. Now, if I go to the doctor and he says, you know what? The pain is caused by cancer. You're dying. In 6 months, you will be no more. This is a different thing. Because, okay, this has been given to the body, this diagnosis. But I am not body. I was not body. I'm not going to remain the body. Again, take the treatments, take the medicine, but you're not born. You can't die. This knowingness that you are formless, without the concept of being formless, but formless. This entire world is illusory because it occurs within your own self.
I was getting a strong sense for like I don't know, yesterday, day before, and the day before. I was getting a strong sense of could best. Sometimes I used to call it oneness, and now it felt the proper word was no separation. It was like even though everything was kind of the same. Uh, so I'm wondering.
Dissolution by understanding is what Siddham Ashram Maharaj calls it. Like you have the dissolution of the universe, you have the dissolution at the end of time, and the dissolution through understanding.
That understanding though wasn't like something that it wasn't mental though. It was,
Of course, it's direct recognition,
it was
but it's
yeah,
the dissolution through understanding. I think he says there's like several different dissolutions of, if something burns down and it turns to ash, okay, that's the dissolution of form. And then you have the dissolution of the entire universe, and then you have the dissolution through understanding. The
so that was
understanding that, oh, so that I am that, dissolves the universe, dissolves everything. And the dissolution through understanding is, of course, the primary, because all the other dissolutions are sort of, there's activity or there's something that needs to be done. Dissolution through understanding is just because I know myself in a real sense, there are no bodies.
yeah, everything was like there was no difference between somehow anything.
Correct. You dissolve the universe through understanding. And like you said, it's not understanding like, oh, I got it now. No, it's
Yeah.
understanding of, because I know myself, there is nothing. Which In the body-based illusory existence, I can call oneness because all has dissolved and there is no separation.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the whole sense of being like I don't know, I could say it shifts or something from the former point of view of forms seeming to be real, and then it shifts to where what seems to be real actually means that it's not real because of the
And
fact
the
that it's,
local identification, there's no local identification. When you have a local identification, then forms can seem real. But as you begin to know yourself in a real sense, this center point, it dissolves. To the mind, it can feel like an expansion because
yeah, yeah,
there's a feeling of expansion simply from the mind's point of view, so to speak, seeing through the mind. But in the reality, it's just a dissolution. And absolutely you see like, oh, again, just like when you wake up from a dream, you're no longer so thinking that these things actually happened. It's not an egoistic thing. It's just a spontaneous conviction. Oh, so that I am that.
and
There's no separation.
what would you say about when it seems like when that experience was sort of awakening my heart to be able to sort of like see that okay there's not really any others, so everybody else is me, so I actually care about everybody. It was like a almost like a heart awakening or something. uh, I don't know if
Well, you know,
that's
there's nothing other
that's
than yourself.
uh,
Myself is in each and every being. The
yeah,
selfless self is in each and every being.
yeah.
There's no difference anymore. I very much understand that there isn't a separate somebody in front of me or another separate something. It's just myself.
Yeah. And that somewhere in there is when you start to recognize that you are the guru.
Well, again, guru is
Because
body based. You
you
say
know difference,
it's
basically.
a body based labeling, guru. Just like when Sri Ramakant Maharaj says guru is not a body. So see yourself as formless, see the master as formless, and there's
Yeah,
no separation.
yeah,
As
yeah,
you begin to see yourself in a real sense, know yourself in a real sense, your seeing is more clean because it's not trying to go through the filter of a personalized or individual sort of
right.
consciousness of my world.
Yeah, you do st you actually stop taking the touch. It just the touch goes away, kind of.
Exactly. How can you take the touch? You're formless. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can touch. Everything's within you.
Still, I don't seem to be able to generate this this experience. It's there for a while and then it's gone, and then
Well,
or
the
whatever.
more you remain with your selfless self, this
Yeah,
is your reality.
right. I you know I
Reality
don't
doesn't
know
go
this.
anywhere. Reality can be covered by layers of illusion, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the nice thing about knowing yourself in real sense. That you are that. So even when you're not believing you're that, you're that.
yeah.
And you can say, in this body form, I don't know myself at all. I still think that I'm running in the rat race, trying to do this and that, and everything relies on me and my power and all that. But you're still that.
Yeah.
It's just
You
you're the
gotta get
reality.
so
That's
that's
it.
part of just getting used to it and about like they say abiding in it and you get used to it to recognizing it more and it almost like was seemed to be more ordinary rather than like a powerful experience.
Exactly. There is so ordinary because it's the natural state.
Yeah.
And Sri Nisgadatta Maharaj says you have to chew the cud like a cow when it's
Yeah.
chewing, or chew the chocolate, but just like a cow that's chewing. Now you okay. You just remain with your selfless self. No issues, no problems, nothing, no birth, no death. No need to struggle. Struggle why? No need to struggle. No need to label the experience. No need to try and get more of the experience because, oh, that's the reality. Whether I seemingly am experiencing the reality or not, it's just illusory layers. And yet these illusory layers, they're passing. You're not passing. Maharaj uses the example of being in the train and moving through town to town. Looking out the window, you see everything. Oh, this city and that city, and now we're in the woods, and now we're over the bridge and all that, but you're not moving. Everything else is moving. You are unmoving.
Mm.
Or I think Sri Ramana Maharshi talks about the guy who takes the cart, and he takes the cart with all the stuff, and he's not doing anything. He's just kind of in the cart. You're taking the body is being taken from here to there. You're taking this body from here to there. And that's why also in the ashram, they talk about, oh, it's not so necessary to come to the ashram. The ashram is wherever you are. Because all you're doing is dragging the body around.
Mm.
Or you go on some kind of spiritual like a quest or I forget what they call it, but going around seeing all these different spiritual places and being very spiritual, but all you do is dragging the body around, visiting ashram to ashram, this place, that place. No. And the more you drag the body around, the more identification with the body that I'm doing, the more the egoistic spirituality comes about. Oh, I've visited this place and that place, and I'm going to walk around Arunachala for 5 years, and it's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to, no. Or I need to sit in a cave. But like Maharaj says, Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, were you in a cave prior to beingness? No. So what is this? The egoistic spirituality is very easy to take the touch of. Because now, oh, I'm having these experiences and I must be great. And just like you said now, you're like, it doesn't seem like it's like some super powerful thing. No, because it's the natural state.
Mm. So would you say maybe we could get a certain amount of dissolution and kind of like stick there because we think that that's the right amount of
There's
dissolution?
no you to stick. There's no you to do anything. The you that can do anything is what's dissolving.
Yeah, but maybe the dissolution might stop at a certain point. You just kind of it stopped.
How?
Uh,
The dissolution is literally there's nothing. That's the black hole.
yeah.
It's just all concepts, all everything. It just sucks in. It's just gone. And yet now you can do your job, do your duties, take care of your responsibilities. You have a backache, take some medicine, go to the doctor. Doctor says you're going to die. This is not so great, but okay, who's dying? I am not body, I was not body, I'm not going to remain the body.
So how much of relief does that give you from the body? If the body's still feeling you know, it's only going to give you a certain amount of relief because the body's still going to be going through what it's going through.
Yeah, the pain is going to be, again, it's a five elemental body.
Yeah,
Five
but like
elemental
you also
body
said,
behaves just like the five elements.
but also some of the attention, if you're not thinking that that's you so much, and your attention's not so much on the pain, that's when you get some relief anyway.
It's possible. But again, the tornado doesn't know it's a tornado, nor does it even know it's destroying anything. It's just its nature. Because again, a disturbance in the five elements is a disturbance in the five elements. This is a five elemental body. There's going to be disturbance. You just don't identify with the disturbance. Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, I'm in so much pain. Oh, I'm getting old. Oh, I need to exercise, but I don't want to exercise. I'm getting close to death. That is all nonsense. but a disturbance in the five elements, just like the pacemaker that I had to get. Okay, disturbance in the five elemental body. The heart is not going to continue working at optimum efficiency unless you get this pacemaker. And then the meditation through the pacemaker, because of course there is a concept of this body is going through some experience, and yet there's no experiencer created to experience the experience. Therefore, no experience. It's just the other side. You wake up, now there's a pacemaker in this body. But it wasn't a torturous. And it could be if you're identified with the body, especially. I remember when the doctor said, please sign this form. And it says all the different things that can go wrong, up to and including death. And it was, and you sign this form. But you're not concentrating on this. It's just, okay, this is, you wake up on the other side and there's a pacemaker in the body. Just like going to the hospital in India with Maharaj, meditating through this, no experiencer created, no experience. The other side of it was now I'm driving back home, or not home, to the ashram with Maharaj. So there wasn't an experience of, oh my God, I don't even know how many hours I was there in the hospital by myself. But now here we are at the ashram again. Okay. And we're feeling better. The body is no longer rolling up and having all these horrible things happening to it. We're feeling better. We're recuperating. We're on the other side.
But you could be going through that whole ordeal, thinking it's your own, like an own self, like an individual self. You could be.
Absolutely. If you're identified with the body, I'm amazed actually at how the experience was with Sri Ramakant Maharaj. Because even when I talk to other people sometimes about these things, it's like, oh my God, how did you feel? Like you were 3,000 miles away from home, very, very sick. You were fading, you were throwing up and all this, and you had to go to a hospital and have fluids put in you. Like that must have been a horrifying experience. But the reality was there was no experience, no experiencer. And when you see this on the other side, it's oh, so that I am that. And there is no need to create these silly experiences through creating an experiencer that has to experience them. And most likely, always the experiencer is going to say, I don't want this to happen. This pain and pleasure principle. I don't want this. Oh my God, this is so terrible. The thought stream that I'm identified with is just going to carry me along. Jump into a busy river, you're gone. Stand on the bank of the river, has no effect.
Certainly, all your self-concern isn't going to change anything, make it go away.
Correct. If anything, it could make it worse. You just start tensing up the body. You start trying to fight. You start, oh my God, this is so terrible. Oh, what is this? What is that? The experience of driving in the cab with the rain. And it's beautiful because in the ashram, the guy was telling me, oh man, Indian cab drivers are very terrible and you never want to go at night. Well, now, not only am I going at night, but it's pouring down rain too. And yet, Maharaj has given the master key, the mantra. No experience, no experiencer. You never have to experience again because you know yourself in a real sense. And if for some reason you start to identify body-based in any way, then mantra, okay. Almost like a little lullaby to your selfless self, where you're totally calm and quiet. Be normal, be humble, be simple, be always with you.
everybody seems to have that side of them present. I mean, you can only get so concerned and worked up about what's going on, and then some people are more mellow about it right from the beginning. They don't get worked up. So it's just everybody. If you start looking at individuals, you know there's great variety of all approaches, and again, it's within each person though that where it's actually that knows whether they're taking it okay or not.
Well,
But
the thing is, it's just unnecessary. Like I watched this World's Toughest Test. It's one of my favorite shows, where it's a special forces training, and they take all these celebrities and they put them through this special forces training. And like the guy said, if you panic, you're done.
yeah,
That's it. And most of all of this is mind over matter, meaning you're just calm.
uh,
What is the point of sitting there and saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God? And again, why? Because you're trying to protect the body, because you believe you're the body, and therefore you're trying to protect the body. And the flow of thoughts is all about the body. When you know yourself in a real sense, it's not true. It could be, we spoke about before, the black and white TV, and you're seeing in color. So it doesn't make sense. And you also know that the mind came along with the body. So all thoughts, ideas, pictures, images of any kind that the mind can present to you, the you that you are only about the body. Therefore, they can be discarded. You choose which thoughts to accept. Oh, I'm thirsty. Okay, have a drink.
I was in the mountains one time all by myself, and it was a beautiful day. And all of a sudden, I looked down on the ground and I saw a cat, fairly large cat footprints, and I freaked out. And I think I got to protect my body. And I started running. And the more I ran, the more panicked I got because I had never experienced such intense panic before. And I could have, I didn't have to react that way. I could have, thought that, well, okay, so they're there, and cat might be, he might be around, he might not. Anyway, I didn't even give it a chance. And any object, or well, I wouldn't call it objectivity. I didn't give space a chance to consider any other possibilities.
See, that's the time. Okay, you're lost in the body a little bit. Mantra.
Yeah.
And then watch as the body's moving around. That's the most beautiful thing in the beginning when you're really practicing mantra. You're going to start observing your body just going through the motions of doing like there's no longer a conscious driver. It's almost like you're now in the back of a limousine and it's just being you're concentrated on mantra and yet you're making a sandwich and you're going outside and you're doing this and you're driving and all this sort of thing. But it's like you see this. Eventually, of course, that leaves too, because then the next step is you're listening to the mantra running naturally through the body. And the next step on that is there's just nothing. You're just, you're using the body as an instrument, like you see in the sci-fi movies when they put the gloves on and they go in and they do their work or whatever. But it's like mechanical stuff because you're no longer like, oh, this is my body. I need to protect. I need to do something because you're not thinking about it. Just as the clothes, like Sri Ramakant Maharaj says, this clothes, or Sri Maharaj, the dagla is what they called it. It's like clothing or whatever. You're not constantly thinking, oh, I'm wearing clothes. Everywhere I go, I have to think I'm doing this with clothes on. And Siddhar Maharaj also gives a story there was a guy who was very rich in the town, and everybody always kind of looked to him for advice and seeking. And he began crying. Oh, what if this terrible thing, this terrible drought ever happens again? And his wife comes in and sees him. Oh my God, if that were to ever happen again, oh, it's so terrible. And then all the people in the town, and everybody's just crying about, oh my God, that terrible drought, if it were to ever happen again, we just can't. It's just so terrible. And a saint comes through the town and he's like, what is everybody crying about? Oh, if this thing were to ever happen again. But nothing's happened. But the whole town was so upset because of this terrible drought that had happened years ago. What if that ever happens again? It would be horrible. It's very silly. There's also the story about two guys, and they're off at war, and one of them gets killed, but the message gets sent to the family of the wrong one, saying, oh, your son was killed. Oh, God, that's so horrible, so terrible. And the other one, oh, your son is fine. Everything is good. And all this stress, all this pain, all this agony, of course it's not real because their son was not dead. It's manufactured suffering for no reason.